Jaxx fucking Raxor. Saving up for that car. Can't afford a new car because he's saving. Dude, from what I found, you could have put a down payment and then probably the first month on a car. You dumb son of a bitch. $2,540 from Jaxx Raxor this year alone. 2,500 and 5 times my fucking cable service for the month, for the year. What are you doing, man? And Phil's got the nerve to fucking cry and beg people because of a $30 stream. And he's accepted $2,540 from Jaxx. And again, it's just what I could find. Doesn't include Patreon. Doesn't include any of these other fucking avenues. By the way, this doesn't include anonymous tips these fuckers might be doing. Don't fucking let that go to waste. These people are doing anonymous tips, man. No fucking messages. Phil doesn't have to check who it is. It's not OIC all the time. 2,504. You've got no fucking hope, Jaxx. You were tied to this fucking guy. You're worse than Patriarch. You're tied to him for life. You can't even criticize the guy on these shitty ass Street Fighter streams where he's crying about lag and running from, shout out to the homies Jose and Goji Tanks again. He's running from them. You can't even fucking complain. You can't even say, Phil, why don't you act like a fucking man and stay in there and face Jose? Face Goji Tanks. Fuck is wrong with you, man? He's walking around with you on a leash, dude. And this is just the first half of the year. He's racing towards $5,000 for the year. I wonder why you can't afford a car. You dipshit. And isn't that motherfucking Shawn Michaels? This bitch was running from Jose again last night. He even went to Jose's profile page and blocked him. You know, how can people support a coward like that? But it makes sense. They follow and support people like themselves. They see themselves in DSP. We get it, man. So that clip was obviously from To Catch a Pay Pig Part 10. And $2,540 on July 8th. So basically the halfway point of the year. So I guess we can at least congratulate this idiot for not hitting the 5K mark in total this year that we know of. And as I said in the video, that's just what I could find. Piece of Pieces tip tracker made it easier on me, but I did go stream by stream searching for his tips earlier in the year. And that's how I came up with that number. The $2,540. Now, before I give you the grand total, let's take a trip down memory lane and see what happened back on April 23rd of this year. All right, and before we start, let's give a huge shout out to Almighty Anli. His stream from that night is one of the few places where we can actually get the pictures from and see what happened. So big shout out to Anli for that. But on April 23rd, it was a Friday night, I believe, Street Fighter. Jaxx comes in, and this was pre-stream. This wasn't even, the fucking stream hadn't started that night. And good evening, everyone. Just so you all know, I am planning on dropping a massive tip for Phil tonight. So I want you all to be my witness so he doesn't think it's fake or too good to be true. I'm going to process it as soon as Phil starts speaking. And if you remember, I covered that in, I believe it was part 4 of To Catch a Pay Pig when I originally covered Jaxx. But let's see what the next picture is. So then the stream starts, and as most of you know, he dropped a $1,000 tip that night. And I didn't want to get Phil's reaction, because it was just, you know, some fake ass reaction like he didn't know, but he 100% knew that tip was coming. Because Jaxx had mentioned an earlier tip earlier that week, or a bigger tip coming earlier that week, I should say. So 1K, let's see what the next picture is. And here's what I wasn't able to include the last time I covered him in To Catch a Pay Pig. Now, again, shout out to Ann Lee for having this in the chat, man. So somebody questioned him after the tip, and they're like, everybody's just, you know, damn, how can you do that? Are you rich? Why would you do that? Etc. And he responds to somebody and says, LOL, no, I'm not rich. I drive a 2003 Toyota Corolla. Again, this happened April 23rd of 2021. And this dude drives a 2003 Toyota Corolla. I'm just very good with my money and have a good amount of saving. A lot of my large tips this year was due to tax refunds and COVID-19 stimulus money. A lot of my large tips this year was due to tax refunds and COVID-19 stimulus money. Dude clearly works in the retail industry of some sort, relying on tips. He has the nerve to say that he's good with money. He drives a 2003 Toyota Corolla. And he's giving DSP $1,000 fucking dollars, man. DSP lives so much better than this guy. What do you even say? What do you even fucking say? Let's go to the next picture. So people are still questioning him. And some of the messages cut off because Anlee's chat, happens to just overlap. It's just the way it is. But we assume he says, I got a very hefty emergency saving fund. So good advice for all of you out there. If you can, try to save enough money so you can live off of it for at least 6 months, if not a year, if you lose your job. This guy should be in fucking jail right now for that. For giving that advice after what he did. You know how those guys go to jail for like insider trading and on Wall Street? And this guy he's the opposite end of the spectrum. He should be in jail for doing what he did and then trying to give people that fucking advice. Try to save enough money. DSP took this money from this guy. And again, we're about to get to the grand total here in a minute. Retail industry, whatever fucking job this guy works, and we're about to find out how much he gave. All right, no more stalling. Thanks to Piece of Pieces tracker and what I was able to find myself earlier this year, we have a grand total of $3,450 from Jaxx Raxor alone to DSP this year. And there's still 3 more Street Fighters left this year. 3 more Fridays, 3 more weeks. I think he only gave 25, 26 last night. He's going to clear 3,500. And again, this is just what I could find. This doesn't include Patreon. This doesn't include behind the scenes when he doesn't show up. This doesn't include memberships, which he's a member, of course. Doesn't include all that extra shit. Just forward-facing what I could find, $3,450. And I think Jaxx eventually did end up getting a car. I didn't want to go back looking for that screenshot. I think he got some kind of Toyota Camry again, a used one obviously, but let's say you were paying $300 a year for that car, Jaxx, as your monthly payment. 1 year would be $3,600. You essentially paid a year of your car to DSP this year for fucking Street Fighter. A game that he cries incessantly, bitches about lag, runs away from people, and half the time he's not even fucking playing. The controller's just sitting there. And you gave this guy a year's worth of a car payment that you clearly need, because there you are with a 2003 Toyota Camry talking about, oh, you need to get a new car. And the fuck is wrong with you, man? $3,450. Just what I could find. And now we're going to go into a clip from January 1st, something that I came across, and I want you to pay close attention to this clip. This is how Phil sets him up, and then later on in the year, he knocks him down. Just listen to what Phil says, and we'll break it down afterwards.
Jaxx saying he can't tip. Is that true? I don't remember banning him from tipping, but I could double check. Then again, keep in mind, I told you guys, I have implemented new things on the stream to stop troll tips. So, oh no, never mind. Never mind, Jaxx. If you're trying to tip, you should be okay now. Yeah, someone over the past couple of days, someone impersonated you and tried to tip in your name. That's what it was. So there you go, sir. Someone, once again, see what I mean? Someone impersonated him, and I had to shut it down. Sorry about that, Jaxx Raxor. We should be okay now. So the top tip so far of the year is $21. We had a 1 Minute Man earlier today tip $21 on the first stream. That's the biggest tip so far of 2021. Yeah, Jaxx Raxor, again, I really apologize. This guy, I told you, this guy who's doing the fake tips, he literally looks at people who are regulars and who contribute, and he uses your names to try to make it think like it's legit, and then all of a sudden he'll give a million fake tips. So, yeah, that's what happened the other day. Oh!
Fucking unbelievable, man. It's unbelievable. You know, both of these dumbasses were probably having panic attacks when that shit happened. I can just imagine Jaxx gasping for breath because he couldn't tip his beloved hero. Every time he tried to press send on that tip and it kept giving him an error message, he probably thought it was the end of the world and that DSP was going to starve that night. And then look how fucking slimy DSP is. As Jaxx is struggling to tip, and by the way, Jaxx clearly isn't a stable person. DSP just feels like mentioning the top tip of the fucking year so far is only $21. That's such a garbage ass thing to do, man. It's the first day of the year, and this bitch is pressuring him as he's trying to tip that nobody has beaten $21 this year. And then he just keeps egging him on. Oh, I'm sorry, Jaxx, I'm sorry. You see what he's doing to you, man? You need to beat him, Jaxx. You know, he has the rat in the rat trap. He lured him in with the cheese, and he ain't letting go till that rat has given up and given him everything he wants. Now, that was January 1st. Why do you think Jaxx tipped $1,000 on April 23rd, as soon as he could afford it? Maybe because he remembered what this piece of shit was saying about being the top tipper of the year and how he really needs the money. Shit is a fucking circus, man. All right, that's pretty much the video for today. Just, you know, no matter how many times I see this shit, no matter how many videos I watch, I'm still always left shaking my head. And, you know, I can't believe it, man. No matter how many times, but I guess it's just the way life is. And I probably wouldn't believe it if I wasn't watching this in real time anyways. So give 2 quick shout outs, and then want you to read this last cheer that I came across that I laughed my ass off when I saw it. But quick shout out to Joseph. Sent me a daily 1 Minute Man tithe and said he's been MIA for a while. And this was just something for the holidays. He said, thanks for keeping us entertained. And he had an idea for a future video that sounded very interesting. And it was actually low-level content's idea, but he reminded me about it. It has to do with all the former whales, mods, and fans that DSP has thrown under the bus. And it would be something that the current pay pigs could see and to let them know what awaits them, essentially. I don't know how much effect it would have or whatever, because you look at somebody like Jaxx and clearly they don't give a shit. But, you know, it's a good idea. It would probably just take a while to put together, but I might take some time and look at it. So shout out to Low Level for the idea, and shout out to Joseph for reminding me. And then Lewis, who says he's been marathoning the To Catch a Pay Pig series and enjoying them. He said he likes how I usually start pretty calm, and as the videos go on, I get progressively more pissed off. And sometimes I get a little too wrapped up in it, but, you know, I can't hide the way I feel about this guy and the people that he takes advantage of. It's also partly why I had to take a break from the series. He actually sent me a pretty nice contribution, a little bit more than a daily 1 Minute Man tithe, if you know what I mean. So shout out to Lewis. Appreciate the tip, homie, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Now, the next video, I'm not sure. I'll probably do a community tab, community poll, because there's a few ideas. They might just take a while to work on. So outside of that, let's go ahead and take a look at this cheer that I came across recently. And I can't remember when or where I saw this from, but Restart Machine did 100 bitch here. My girlfriend had a bad panic attack at work yesterday, and her coworkers called the ambulance. When they showed up, they just said, give her a pill and left her there. I was livid. How would you react in this situation? And DSP didn't read it. That's the only reason I didn't clip it, because DSP didn't read it. He ignored it, but I scrolled back and found the fucking cheer, and I saw why he had the reaction he did. That's a legitimate, genuine question, DSP. What advice would you have for that young man in that situation, my good friend? Outside of that, the next video will be up probably in about 4 to 5 days. I'll have that poll up there. I will talk to y'all very, very soon. Thank you for riding with me. And as always, let's fucking go.